Welcome to Reddit on Reddit, the internet's auditory version of Reddit. I'm Nelson Allingham, joined by Michael Campbell.
Hello, Nelson. Can I quickly regale you with a story that happened to me the other week?
Oh, do it. Yes, please.
So, I don't know if we've discussed this on our show, but you and I have certainly discussed this, in that Stacey and I here at this house have no idea what happens next door. The house next door is a mystery to us.
Yeah.
And recently, in the last 2 weeks, all that we hear from it is like pumping loud music at like all hours of the morning.
Okay.
In itself, not the worst, but gets annoying after a while. Anyway, it was pumping one night. We even looked it up. We're like, at what time do we complain? Looked it up. And the law said after 10 p.m., if there's music intruding, then they need to stop. So I thought, all right, we'll give it to 10. Got to 10, hadn't stopped. So I thought, all right, what I'll do is I'll just lean over the fence and say, hey, can you turn it down?
Yeah. So
I leant over the fence and I could see someone on their bed. I could see their feet sticking out.
Yeah.
I tried to shout a few times. I was like, hello, anyone? So, okay, this isn't working.
So you grabbed your shotgun.
Went all the way up and then down the driveway.
Yeah.
And I knocked on their door, nothing. And then I knocked on their door even harder. Nothing. And I was like slamming on their door. And I was like, hey, someone come to this door, please. Nothing. No one stirred. So then I kind of went back around to the fence and I poked my head over even further and looked in. And this guy was passed out.
Oh, no.
Completely passed out, completely unconscious, pillow over his face with the music pumping through this house.
Yeah.
So I had to do the snitch thing, Nelson. I was like, I guess do I just call the local police station?
You snitch. Oh, you bloody snitch.
But then when I called them, I realized how much worse it sounded because I called them. I'm like, oh, hey, there's a lot of loud music coming. Look, we want the music turned off. We went over to try and ask them, but I think this guy's like unconscious in his bed.
Yeah.
And I can't seem to stir him.
Yeah.
And then suddenly they're asking me all these other questions like, all right, well, I need a physical description of the man. Have you seen any paraphernalia around the house? And I was like, oh, no. I've now realized this sounds like I think I found a dead body or something in the house next door.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's how my week started. So as you can probably tell, I've been sleeping fine and I'm all good.
Yeah. You seem pretty chipper. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's a tricky one. I think you were missing probably the answer that was right in front of your face though, like the most obvious. Okay, and that is just to get so wasted that you too pass out and then the music doesn't bother you anymore. I think
that's good actually.
That was right there in front of you. But well, now you know for next time.
This is why I present the problems to you. Because I couldn't see the forest. I couldn't see the forest for the trees. I was too deep in it.
Yeah. Sometimes
you're looking down from a helicopter, being like, the solution is so simple.
You need to take a step back sometimes. Yeah, I get it. I'm here for you, buddy. Here's a problem though, because we actually have another problem where we're both in the weeds and we need maybe somebody else to get involved. But that's also effort, so we can't do that either. But I'm thinking we got to discuss episode 400. This coming up, annoyingly fast.
I forgot about this, Nelson.
If I could slow time for no other reason than to delay episode 400, I would. Not for any. I'm sure there's plenty of monetary gain to be had with a magic skill like this, but no, it would be just to delay episode 400. I think we're going to start throwing out some ideas and see what sticks. So
here's the thing. Here's the thing about circa episode 299, Nelson and Campo.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
We said, we won't do anything for 300, and then we sniggered.
Yeah.
So we said, but we'll do something for episode 400.
Dickheads. That's what I
think. Knowing in our hearts that would never come. Ugh. Episode 400 would never come. That's 200 episodes extra from when we last celebrated. That'll never happen.
So frustrating.
But let me say this. Even if we do something for episode 400,
yeah,
we will double it for episode 600.
Double. I'm pretty confident. Triple. Come on. The sky's the limit.
And I don't say this often, so, treat it with the weight it deserves. You hold us to that. You hold us to episode 600 being even bigger than 400.
Yeah. Cool. All right. But episode 400, I think some things that we need to think about, for example, is like, are we going to do something? We could do a couple of maybe crazy things, right? Like we could do just something as simple as the episode itself is unique in some way, right? As a random example, only podnappings, okay? That would obviously be our worst nightmare.
That's a worst case scenario, but yeah.
But surprisingly, it's our listeners' most enjoyed part of the podcast.
And I hate that, Nelson. I really do hate that fact.
I hate our listeners. Kind of adjacent to that. But just in general, just so everybody knows, and I'm, if anybody thinks that it comes as a surprise at any one point, I want you to know that I hate just everybody listening right now. So the other thing that we could do is maybe something more permanent. A change to the show, perhaps.
Yeah, get rid of Podnapping altogether.
Get rid of Podnapping because, as I said just recently, the listeners love that segment the most. I hate the listeners. So this kind of would be me getting back at them in some way.
Certainly.
Or maybe, Cambo, we introduce a third person.
Okay, a third person. Look.
It would have to be a woman. Only because I'm pretty sure that if any other podcast gets another male host on the show, women will lose the right to vote because it's just there's too many of us and we can't. Yeah. I don't want to be responsible for the podcast that does that.
I would say our podcast being two guys like us is dangerously close to a podcast I wouldn't listen to anyway.
I don't listen to the podcast, so there you go. I used to until I was like, ugh, this is just two white guys talking about stupid stuff. Okay, but that's thrown out there. And there is a benefit to that too, which means that we would have one less podnapping to do each.
That honestly, that appeals to me the most of all of this is that we would actually, at the moment, we get a week off podnapping.
Yeah.
So we do it every second week.
Yeah.
Every third week, Nelson.
You know what?
That's very interesting.
Let's get 50 more hosts on this show. One podnapping a year. I'm down with that. That's pretty good. But the problem with that is, I don't know. We don't know any other people, so that makes it more difficult. True.
And we're not about expanding our horizons.
Yeah, it seems like it would be. It might increase the quality of the show, which is dangerous.
But do you want people to suggest what they want to hear in episode 400?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so.
Well, because I don't want to
hold anybody to let it. I don't want anybody to think that they have any power whatsoever that will influence us.
Nelson,
but if it gets us out of a jam, sure.
What I'm getting at is obviously we love it when someone sends us a podnapping because that's one less thing we have to do.
Yeah.
So if someone can suggest something for 400, that's one less thing we have to think of.
If somebody could record episode 400, that's the ultimate.
Surely you should have enough raw data to clone our voices using AI.
Exactly. You know what? That person gets fuckhead podcast listener status. But it has to be indistinguishable from us.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well,
we're one very small step closer.
We're so much closer. We've had the conversation. It was tough.
Yeah. I reckon we'll pick this back up at 496.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Let us know. Write in. What are your ideas? We want those.
And because we just want to know whether we were thinking the same thing.
Yeah, because I do have a lot of thoughts, and I don't want to take anybody's idea, but I just want to know if I'm on the same page, you know? Yeah. That's good. All right, let's get into it, Cameron. This first Reddit on Reddit was in the subreddit Yelp drama. It was originally by Fresh Flower Market, but cross-posted to us by Gone Fish Caking. This is a 1-star review. I have loved this place and have met so many great locals since I moved here a bit over a year ago, but felt completely let down after being bullied by belligerent people and feeling no support to kick them out. I felt let down, and bartender had poor judgment in looking out for me as a regular. The owner has replied, please don't throw your bird at people anymore. The staff is not responsible for your fights. In brackets, I found the video of you throwing the bird.
Now, when you read the first half,
yeah,
I had made some assumptions, thinking, look, the guy writing the review was probably at fault.
Yeah.
But I never saw the bird coming.
That came out of left field. Yeah. There was no scenario in my mind when first reading it that I was like, if this guy's getting into fights, he's bringing in an animal with him to help along the way. And a bird? Throwing a bird? Now,
it's such a weird animal to throw, because most animals, if you throw, they'll probably hit their destination, because here's the thing, they can't control themselves in the air. There's only one type of animal. There's only one type of animal that could circumvent your plans of hoisting them through the air, and that's the one they chose to throw.
This is like the biggest fake out ever. I've never considered this. This is actually kind of like an aggressive move without actually being aggressive. It's like if you were to throw a yo-yo at somebody with the string to attach to your finger that you can yank back at the last second so it doesn't hit them. It's kind of the same thing. It's kind of like a threat. A warning shot, if you will, where you throw your parrot at somebody and you're like, oh shit, this bird's gonna hit me, and then just at the last second the parrot gets out of the way. That's pretty.
The more sinister interpretation is that it's a dead bird.
Yeah. Oh,
because then it is just a lump of flesh coming for you. Yeah. Flesh and feathers.
Yeah, that's true. What's like the worst? Oh, yeah, I'm thinking like an ibis or something with that really long beak. That throwing that at somebody alive, not that intimidating really. But I think if that was dead and stuffed, I think that could be a dangerous weapon. That's as sharp as a knife.
You could throw an emu.
Oh yeah, you could throw
because even if they hit the ground before they got there, if they just kept running, you're still in trouble.
Yeah, they could do some damage. What's the best animal to throw at somebody, regardless of bird?
Nelson, it's a bear. And I don't mean to insult you, but that's a silly question.
Okay, well, why not a shark? Mm-hmm.
Well, where am I throwing it? Am I throwing it on land or in the? If we were in the ocean, Nelson, then I'll throw a shark.
Okay.
Or even at the beach. I'd say at the beach or a pier.
What's going to be more annoyed? A bear that gets thrown on land where it's been its whole life, or a shark that gets thrown on land where it hasn't been its whole life?
Here's the thing. Depending on where I am, dictates how scared I am of a shark.
In
In the ocean, terrified.
Yeah.
flailing around in front of me, I'm stepping around it.
Okay, Cambo, mark this down as a possibility for episode 400. Okay, I'm gonna get a live shark, a great white shark. I'm gonna put it in front of you while it's flailing on the ground. I'll throw it as much as I can, and I want to see you not panic and just walk around.
Do you not feel more confident to escape that than a bear?
I mean,
I just think my chances of getting away from the flailing shark are much higher.
For some reason, I'm still quite terrified of the flailing shark. I'm thinking as well, it's not like it's getting thrown in front of me and I'm like a meter away from it. I think it's like being thrown on top of me. Granted, it's the bear, right? But like, I don't feel like I can instantly get out of the way.
Yeah. What if you threw? Okay, this is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
You throw a bear,
mm-hmm.
but what's the bear hugging? It's a shark.
Oh my God.
So you get a bear to hug a shark and then you throw the bear.
Okay.
Because the bear lands on them and maybe you get out from underneath that.
Yeah.
But what's snapping at your feet now?
Oh my God. Oh my God. What a terrifying thought. That's good. Here's the counter to that though. This is the counter to that. You have salmon that you throw back at the other person. This is I'm now thinking of the war between somebody that's getting an animal thrown at them and then the person trying to defend themselves. Keep a salmon in your pocket just in case you get an animal thrown at you.
Here's what I'm thinking. In this scenario, I'm imagining that you and I are teaming up to throw something at someone.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's just say in the middle, some guy called Tom. And we want to get Tom.
I hate Tom. He sounds like a listener.
I think we do a two-parter, which is that I throw a bucket at them, and the bucket is full of old salmon and honey.
Oh no!
And at first, Tom would be like, "That was weird," until he turns around.
He would be pissed, thinking that like that was it, because that in itself is already enough and insulting.
And he's like, "That's not going to stop me." And I'll be like, oh, yeah? Why don't you look at Nelson? And then you have a bear ready to throw.
I like the idea that I am ready to throw it, but it is quite a struggle for me. So Tom seeing me like trying to wrap my hands around this bear that is seemingly docile towards me. Extremely difficult to pick up. I'd have to be like, hey, Tom, come here. Tom, come here. Then I just kind of push the bear onto him.
The bear starts licking him. You're like, oh, this isn't what we expected.
Yeah. He's like, oh yeah, I guess that's probably what it would do.
I didn't really perceive him as a threat.
Yeah. It's kind of like a lollipop, really, more than anything. We've made a Tom lollipop. Yeah. That's why you should actually throw. Meg's the cat. We know he's the worst.
Yeah.
Oh god, that would
Meg's
kill
the cat.
everybody.
It'll take care of him.
Yeah. All right, Cambo, let's get into Ask Reddit. Ask Reddit. This Ask Reddit was cross-posted to us by Gone Fish Caking, but it was originally by Introspective Human. You are paired with 100 random humans. If you are better than all of them at something, you win $1 billion. What are you doing?
Oh, this is a good one.
Better
than 100 people?
Yeah.
Really lowers my confidence in anything.
You could, see, you could be lucky as well, in your 100 people. You could maybe go for a bit of a gamble, right? Like, so, for example, yourself, maybe you're like, just movie trivia or something.
I'm better at you than movies.
than movies, yeah. And you just hope like, well, you've got pretty good knowledge, but you get.
Are we talking about 100 people worldwide? Because then I'd pick some real Melbourne specific thing. Just to be like, statistically,
Oh, yeah.
there should be less because even Australians, I don't like the odds of just being more than one Australian.
Yeah, yeah. What do you think would be then the Melburnian thing that you would bring up?
It'd be like, who can do the best impression of Franco Cozzo?
Okay.
And then the test would be, say the town Footscray.
Wait, who is Franco Cozzo? Is that I'm thinking?
Franco
is he
Cozzo,
the National Tiles guy? Is that?
No, Nelson, that's so embarrassing. You're thinking of Frank Walker.
Yeah, and that's
Cozzo.
national. Yeah, okay.
No, that's our enemy. Franco Cozzo had a furniture store in Footscray, and he became well known in Melbourne he just filmed his own ads.
Yeah,
He was like, Franco Cozzo in Footscray. He's just some old Greek guy that made his own commercials and put them on Melbourne television.
Yeah, okay. That's true.
And his furniture, Nelson, was hideous.
Yeah.
It was just really ugly.
Made the ads himself, made the furniture himself. He was not a producer or a furniture maker. So that was his downfall.
What about Sing the Song from Pick Apart? That was a Melbourne business.
Is it a Melbourne business? Oh, yeah, that's not a bad idea. Oh, just for those playing at home. Pick a bar, 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 pick a bar. We've got loads of
Anyway, it was a real earworm of a theme song.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's not a bad strategy. Okay, well, let's change the game then. We've mastered that. We've thought about scenario A, where we're gonna nail it. Although here's the problem with like, if you're doing the best impersonation of Franco Cozzo, and they're like, all right, we didn't really tell you how this was going to work, so you start, and then everybody else has to go. And then you've got 99 other people just being like, well, I just kind of
I'm looking at a guy from Greece, and I'm very scared.
Yeah, that's right. He's like, Franco Cozzo sounds like my uncle. Yeah. So, but anyway, let's say then it's 100 people that are seemingly somewhat similar to you. Maybe there's still a bit of diversity around the world, but you can't rely on the local knowledge.
Yeah, I think I'd have to lean into what I think my one strength is, which is probably movie trivia.
Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. Okay.
I think it's just my safest bet.
How about... Okay. I think I've got one. Oh, no. That's could be dangerous. Okay, here's mine.
Yeah.
I can hold... I can put my finger up my butt for the longest. It has to be my butt.
Yeah.
So... Oh, and maybe it has to be my finger too. Here's the thing, though, that I've realized. Because I'm like, cool, I can just sit there for hours or whatever. And then
probably.
Days. But I can run away from the other people that are trying to stick my finger up my butt. Sorry, I just actually thought about this.
Oh, so to be clear, everybody, the challenge is to put your finger up all of their butts.
Yeah, No, there has to be my finger up my butt. Yeah. I am the best at putting my finger up my butt for the longest. So they don't have control over my finger or my butt.
Yeah.
And and also it's a little bit gross, so hopefully nobody will really want to do it.
The implications of people trying to force you to do this are very dark, Nelson.
Here's the problem, though. I've only just remembered. The prize for this is $1 billion. Now, if
what? I didn't realize this.
If everybody has a chance to win $1 billion, somebody's cutting off my finger and putting it up my butt.
Oh yeah, Nelson. You know that we're best friends.
Yeah,
but I would cut off your finger and stick it so far up your ass for $1 billion.
Yeah, if I wasn't, Camber, if I wasn't in the running, I would let you.
Yeah, that's the thing. But I think that if I did that to you, deep down you'd be like, I know he's right for doing this.
Yeah.
Even though it's terrible for me, I know he should have done that.
Yeah. What if it's just I'd be the quickest. I'm the quickest person to get my own finger up my own butt.
What you'd hate is for you to almost be there and then you feel the wrist around someone grab your wrist and stop you. You're like, oh no.
Yeah. Like I
That
really
was the one thing I thought.
Really thought this one was in the bags. Somehow somebody's beaten me to the punch. I knew I shouldn't have worn a belt. That slows me down.
Damn my tight underwear.
Yeah. Anyway, but you do movie trivia. Yeah, okay.
I guess so.
It's a bit risky for $1 billion, Cambo, I think.
But I'm not losing anything. You are potentially losing a finger and $1 billion.
Yeah, it's worth it. You gotta risk it for a biscuit. And I mean, why did I even do that? Like, if I, like, why didn't I just say, like, at the very least, why didn't I say finger in my mouth?
Why didn't you say touch my own elbow?
Touch my own, do anything for the longest. I think I just initially thought, oh, this will deter people. But for $1 billion, nobody's going to be deterred by putting a finger up my butt. Anyway.
It's not even their finger
not
or
even their
butt.
finger. Like, this isn't even I don't have to worry about this at all. It's not a dirty thing for me. It's not a sacrifice of mine whatsoever. Yeah, okay. Oh, God, I really messed that one up. All right, Camber. Anyway, let's move on and to get into Today I Advise. So now it's time for Today I Learned. What are you Today I Learned. And also sometimes advice. This Today I Learned was cross-posted to us by Gone Fish Caking. Oh, Gone Fish Caking has cross-posted every post so far this episode. That's good.
We're looking for a third host, Nelson.
Oh, we are. Gone Fish Caking. Are you female? Or could you be? There's options. But it was originally by Brendog324. Today I learned that ice doesn't melt effectively in a microwave. The water molecules are held strongly to each other and do not vibrate enough to generate heat. Throwing in ice cubes with your food will produce steam, which in turn will produce more evenly cooked food.
I mean, you might not melt them, but you've actually found a friend in a different way, haven't you?
Yeah, this is such a crazy...
I've heard that people do that when they reheat pizza. Isn't that a thing? You put an ice cube in.
Put ice. Is that crazy? I thought that would just make it more soggy.
No, I thought maybe I've misremembered this, but I thought that was the key to getting a crispier reheated pizza.
Maybe, yeah, because it's steam. Oh, yeah, I don't know. That's so. I just thought that this was so cool because it makes no sense. It seems very illogical.
Anything to do with ice or water, it won't obey your rules, will it? You're like, all right, water, you stay a liquid, all right?
Oh.
Now, I'm just going to turn the temperature down a little bit, and then it's like, you know what? I've actually become a solid. And you're like, fine, I'll put you in the microwave, get you back to liquid.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Steam, mate. Gas. Yeah, I'm a gas now.
What? I'm going up into the clouds. You never guess what I'm coming back as. Back to water.
You wouldn't there. Oh, water, you listen here, mate. I think this is crazy because microwaves seem to be like the most amazing invention. Like really genuinely so totally amazing, but also wildly like inefficient in some way.
Yeah.
Nobody has ever microwaved something, let's say reheated, I guess specifically, and been satisfied with the level to which it has been reheated. Not one person has done this in the world since the beginning of microwaves. It's impossible. It's either too hot or too cold. Parts of it are too cold. Parts of it are too hot. There's no even cooking. And they'll give you some bullshit about like, hey, we've invented this new microwave where hey, trust us, this one, even cooking. We put a little plate at the bottom that spins. No, that does jack shit. Barely anything.
Microwaves are a tool. You're right. They are amazing in that they so easily and efficiently get you to 60% of what you want.
Yeah, yes. It's incredible that they get you that far. But it's just annoying. They can't go that extra 40%.
When you eat something heated in a microwave, it's like you're running and you can see the finish line.
Yeah.
But you can't get there.
Yeah. Then you get...
You're like, it's just that it's so close.
Yeah, but there's a guy on the side. He's like, sorry, you got to stop here. Really sorry. Oh, God, that looks good, that finish line up there.
Yeah.
Look at all those people celebrating. But you...
What are those people doing? They're using an oven. They're slower, but they get over the line.
Yeah. Oh, God, so annoying. Anyway, I'm going to try this ice thing. Maybe that's the thing. And you know what? Even if it gets me from the 60 to like 65%, I'll take the extra percentage wherever I can. Get me close to that finish line. Get me close to that perfect microwaving. I'll do it. I reckon what happened was they invented the microwave and they were like, holy shit, this is amazing. Everybody's giving each other pats on the back. Hey, good job with the spinning plate thing. That was amazing. Yeah. But then they were just like, well, it's so amazing that let's just stop.
You know what I reckon
we don't
happened?
Need to improve this. It's so people are already so wowed. We have, like, everyone's got a microwave now, right? Like, the people have bought microwaves. Everyone's got one. And they're like, what's the point of even trying to improve this anymore?
You know what I reckon happened? They invented the microwave. And they're like, this seems like it could solve all of our problems. Let's do a test. What's annoying to cook? And someone said, well, popcorn. So, right, let's test popcorn. And they tested and they said, you know what? Seems to work perfectly. Should we try anything else? And they said, wouldn't think so. Mass produce it.
Kenve, that's such a lie. Never. Again, we just got to this 60% part. Never have I put in a bag of popcorn into the microwave and it come out with all the kernels popped. Or maybe I can get still never 100% kernels popped, let's be honest. Mm-hmm. But even if I'm like, I'm going to go slightly above the recommended time frame so I can get a few extra pops in. I know, I'm pretty wild. But then you end up burning some of the popcorn that's already popped. I'm telling you, Kevin, there's not one thing reheated. Like, they were impressed by that. They were like, holy crap, oh my God, popcorn was so annoying on the pan previously. No more damaged pans. We've got the... Again, they just rested on their laurels. They were like, oh, whatever. If you kernels like pop, I'm sure nobody will care about this in the future.
It's like the tagline for all microwaves is, that's good enough.
Yeah.
Because honestly, it is. You heat something up, like, look, it's good enough.
Yeah, it's good enough.
It's completely fine. I don't need all of the kernels. I have upwards of 85% of them popped. That's good enough.
Yeah, exactly. Here's what helps the microwave industry is that nobody is ever reheating food when they're not hungry. Like, when you're cooking food, right, you might not be hungry at that time. When you're making something from scratch, you're just like, I know I will be hungry, so here I go. But as soon as you start reheating food, like, you're hungry. You want the food, like, right now, and good enough is good enough. There is no need to go any further.
Let's write a letter to Big Microwave.
Oh, Big Microwave, oh boy. Yeah.
And it just says, we're under you.
Oh.
And then we'll sign it, and they'll be like, pack it up, boys.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
They've got us.
I'd be afraid that my microwave would stop working.
Well, that is the risk.
or working too good. Actually, it'd be suspicious if we wrote to Big Microwave and we're like, hey, we're on to you. And then the next day, my microwave reheats something perfectly. I'd be like, oh, all the kernels have popped. Oh, boy.
Here's the thing. If they, to silence us, make our microwaves work perfectly, I'll shut up.
Oh. They hear that, Big Microwave? That's at the bottom. We're on to you. P.S. Unless you make our microwaves work perfectly.
In which case, it's all good, and we'll deny any knowledge of this.
I love the idea that there's a secret society of people that just have microwaves that work perfectly. And there's no real rhyme or reason for it. It's just that they want to have superiority over everybody else.
It's just that the Westinghouse family, they all have perfect microwaves. I know it.
I'd like to go to somebody's house, probably some rich dude, because, that's how it works.
Yeah.
Go for movie night, gives me the bowl of popcorn. I get all the way through and I'm like, hey, that was weird. I didn't have one kernel in this whole... Did you take them out? And he just looks at me, these eyes open, and he pulls out a revolver from his shoe. He says, Nelson, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to make it this obvious. Bang. Dead. I'm gone.
And look, honestly, if we go out that way, at least we're proud of calling out Big Microwave.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. All right, Cambo. Let's get on to shower thoughts.
Shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts.
Cambo, you're not going to guess who this one's by.
I'm going to say it's by me.
Oh.
Did I cross-post this one?
Wild
or
guess.
Was it backup guess gone fish cake?
Cambo, just think about this. Have you ever in your life cross-posted anything?
Yes. To our subreddit, no.
Oh, okay. This is by Gone Fishing. No, they cross-posted it, but it was originally by Horizon Theory. A fine is only a punishment for poor people.
Yeah. Most punishment, like with the law, is only really for poor people, as it turns out.
Hey, Horizon Theory, don't let the poor people know. Us rich people here, we'll pay a measly fine. But no, don't let those poor people know.
There are countries, or at least country, don't know which one. I'm going to say probably Scandinavian, where fines are determined by your income. As in, like,
I've heard that too.
If you earn more, then if you get a speeding ticket, then it costs you more because you earn more. What do you think of that?
I think that's good, but actually still really hard to quantify, like, how much that is, and because I think that money doesn't scale the same way.
Yeah,
I don't know how to explain it well. But I feel like you sort of get what I mean. It's like, okay, even if the fine is $10 for a poor person and like $1 million for the rich person, the poor person might not be able to eat. Whereas like the rich person's like, oh, I can't get another Picasso painting. I was like, I don't know. Like,
let's say in extreme cases, it's 25% of whatever you have. And a poor person has $3,000 in their account. You have to pay 25% of that, and a rich person has $6 million.
Yeah,
they can live off the 75% of their $6 million. Whereas if you lose 25% of your 3,000, that's
and you've got to pay rent. That's like the same. More than that a month or whatever. I feel like it's a good theory, but I mean, I'm sure somebody could work out the math that it works out a bit. There's a bit more equality there anyway, but I feel like it's not probably as easy as that. Anyway, we've got another one here. Cambo, guess what? Who's cross-posted this one to us?
Well, here's the thing, Nelson, is I can see the show notes.
Okay.
So I'm going to guess cross-posted probably, but I'm just guessing here. Gone emotionally?
Yep.
How does he do it?
Yeah, how does he do it? But it was originally by Infinity Scientist. Planning a vacation in the Star Wars galaxy is quite difficult due to all the options.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
With this one, you send the show notes through ahead of time. I normally give them a quick skim. I legitimately, for a second, thought this was an ad because the Star Wars destination at Disneyland is called Star Wars Galaxy Edge.
Oh.
And for a second, I read it as planning a vacation at Star Wars Galaxy Edge is quite difficult due to all the options. I was like,
so many things to do at Star Wars Galaxy Edge. Yeah.
What is this show? I thought it's just a weird plug for Disneyland.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I reread it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. No. Because here's the thing. I've barely gone everywhere in the world. And let alone a whole galaxy, a whole system. Like, I just wouldn't leave. And then you'd be put into a certain category, right? Where, like, we put people into categories now where it's like, they don't even leave their own country. Maybe they don't even leave their own state for their whole life. It's like, get out, see the world. And people who say this are also people that have been to like one other country potentially. It's like we're not all perfectly traveled, are we? But then add a whole galaxy of different planets that you can go to.
Here's the thing I think people don't consider about galaxies is to sustain life, such a small percentage of those planets would actually necessarily like be life sustaining. A lot of them, like, you need to be it's called the Goldilocks range. Far enough from a sun and rotate. Like, there's a lot of factors that are like, okay, this can sustain life.
Yeah.
So there might be millions of planets, but I wonder how many of them are actually inhabitable.
I would forego any sand planets because I find it really coarse and gets everywhere.
Also, unrelated, I've seen Dune. Could be giant worms in there.
Oh my God, I forgot about the giant worms. Oh boy. Here I am worried about a bear hugging a shark. Giant worms is where it's at. That's scary.
Yeah, that's what we want to throw at people.
Yeah. All right, Canberra, let's move on into podnapping.
Oh my God, I'm being podnapped!
Podnapping.
This is Podnapping. We we take a topic, conversation, or another thing, and we do it ourselves. I'm getting through this quick because it's a long one, but I actually teased this a little while ago, and then I legitimately forgot last Podnapping, and now I'm doing it, which is we did the Australian citizenship test. We're now doing the US citizenship test. Okay. I will let you know I didn't do very well because, again, this was a scenario where I had to put in the answers myself and slowly go through it and write them all down. It was very annoying in how long it took. Anyway, I think I only got, there's 20 questions. I think I only got 11 right.
Okay.
There was probably 2 that I should have got, but I didn't give them an extra second to think about probably.
So you're not becoming an American citizen?
No, not right now. No, apparently not. Okay.
I don't hold too much hope in myself in this, I need to be honest, but
yeah, I'm
happy to give it a go.
I reckon, I don't know why, but I think you'll actually do a little bit better than me, but we'll see. Okay. What major event happened on September 11th, 2001 in the United States? A Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor. That says a Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor. I wrote that down accurately. Just so you know, just one guy went in.
And to be clear, it's not a Japanese attack.
A Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's wrong. Yeah.
Which, well, as far as we know, on September 11th, there could have been one Japanese person that attacked Pearl Harbor, and we are unaware.
And he's going, why aren't I getting news coverage? They'd be hating this.
Yeah.
What happened?
No. What are the chances? Anyway, okay. B, an accident at 3 Mile Island nuclear plant occurred. C, Hurricane Andrew struck the United States. D, terrorists attacked the United States.
I'm going to say D.
D is correct. Oh, that was very broad. I feel like the others were
And we call that event September 11.
Yeah, exactly. Name one branch or part of the government. A, United Nations. B, Congress. C, state government. D, Parliament.
Congress.
Congress, correct. Who wrote the Declaration of Independence? A, James Madison. B, Abraham Lincoln. C, George Washington. D, Thomas Jefferson.
Jefferson.
Jefferson is correct. How many justices are on the Supreme Court?
12?
Incorrect. It's 9.
9. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, shit. No, I think it is 12. Shit. I think I got that one wrong, and I think I highlighted my answer like a fucking idiot. Hold on, now I have to quickly Google this. I mean, Bing it. I think you're right. Oh, this is taking too long. Quick, AI, help me. As of 2022. Oh, 9.
Oh, yeah,
no, sorry. It was 9. It is 9. It is 9.
Yeah. Cool.
Yes. My bad. Okay. We elect a US senator for how many years? A, 10, B, 6, C, 4, D, 2.
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I know president is 4. A senator, I'm going to say 2.
6 years.
6 years, okay.
We elect a US representative for how many years? A, 4, B, 2, C, 6, D, 8.
What does that mean?
I don't know, Kevin.
What is a representative? I've heard it said.
Yeah. I don't think I got either of these.
Just because I tend to not agree with how they structure most things, I'm going to say 8 years.
2 years.
Ah, okay.
Right.
See, that makes a lot more sense to me.
Yeah, okay. I don't know who they are. Okay. How many US senators are there? A, 435. B, 52. C, 50. D, 100.
I feel like it's trying to make me say 51 for each state.
Mm-hmm, right.
But can you have more than one senator? I know there's such a thing as state senator.
Yeah.
But are there just regular senators as well?
Yeah.
I don't. Nelson, what is that? What are they?
I have no idea. No idea what they do.
Can you read me the options again?
A, 435. B, 52. C, 50. D, 100.
Am I falling into a trap thinking it's not an even number when really it could just coincidentally be an even number?
Maybe.
So I'm going to say A, the really high number.
435?
Yeah.
You idiot. It's exactly 100 because there
really?
are 2 senators for every state.
Per state. Oh,
I didn't realize that.
Makes sense.
I actually thought I chose maybe the most random of the. Oh, well, I suppose 435 is also kind of random, but I went 52 because I was like, I reckon it's one of those weird things where it's like 1 for each state, but there's like some weird exceptions for 2 states where they've got 2 or something like that. So anyway, what is the rule of law? A, government does not have to follow the law. B, everyone must follow the law. C, everyone but the president must follow the law. D, all laws must be the same in every state.
It must be B.
B, everyone must follow the law. Yes, that's true. Who did the United States fight in World War II? A, the Soviet Union, Germany, and Italy. B, Japan, China, and Vietnam. C, Japan, Germany, and Italy. D, Austria, Hungary, Japan, and Germany.
I mean, they came in late. So who were they fighting? So what were the I kind of zoned out after I heard C, realizing that I wasn't listening to D properly, and that had some answers I know to be true.
D was Austria, Hungary, Japan, and Germany. Yeah. Austria, Hungary being hyphenated.
Austria was certainly invaded. So yeah, D, I guess.
No, Japan, Germany, and Italy. They're who
oh
we
yeah,
fought.
that was C. Oh yeah, no, sorry, yeah, I forgot what C was.
Yeah. What is freedom of religion? A, no one can practice a religion. B, you must choose a religion. C, you can practice any religion or not practice a religion. D, you can't choose the time you practice your religion.
Americans think it's C, but really that doesn't seem to be the case.
Yes. Yes, it is. It is. You can practice any religion, but really, it is you must choose a religion.
Yeah, and it's Christianity, by the way, according to America.
You must choose the religion.
Yeah.
Name one American Indian tribe in the United States. Do you want to have a guess on this one first?
Yeah, I'm worried about pronunciation.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to remember the tribe and from the movie Dances with Wolves.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to just? I'll go through the answers. A.
Sure.
Oh yeah, I just realized I shouldn't have done this because I'm also going to have trouble with the pronunciation. Anyway, A. Zowie Kemi. B. Celts. C. Cherokee. D. Slavs.
Well, Cherokee is certainly.
Yeah, it's Cherokee. I was thinking that's like the only one that I do know, I think. So that's why I was interested to know if that was going to be the one that you chose. Anyway, there were 13 original states. Name 3. A. Virginia, North Carolina, and Florida. B. Washington, Oregon, and California. C. New York, Kentucky, and Georgia. D. Maryland, Virginia, and North Carolina.
See, D seems like they're the kind of, and no offense to anyone who lives there, the boring states you don't think of. That makes me think that that's probably right.
Yeah.
Like New York seems like it came later, like
there was obviously York first.
Exactly. They had to establish old York before they got New. So I'll go D based on vibe.
D is correct. I'm actually so annoyed. I was going to go D and then for some reason, there was like this thing in the back of my head that was like, hey, I think there's a weird thing about Florida being in there at the start. And so I swapped Maryland for Florida, but yeah.
I feel like the trap in that is one of them has Washington and you'd think, well, that's where the government is. That must have been established first.
Yeah.
But that's not how
that actually makes the least sense, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, anyway. What are the two parts of the US Congress? A, the House of Representatives and the courts. B, the Senate and the House of Representatives. C, the House of Lords and the House of Commons. D, the Senate and the courts.
B, I think.
B, the Senate and the House of Representatives. Yeah. It's one of those funny ones where you're like maybe it could be all these things, but like this one seems kind of right.
I've heard of those two like fighting before, which seems to indicate that one wanted to pass something and the other one didn't.
Yeah.
Because they're always like, this will never get past the House of Representatives. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, but okay.
Okay. The idea of self-government is in the first 3 words of the Constitution. What are these
We the people.
words? Correct, we the people. The first possible answer is we the British, which I think is really funny.
I mean, look, to be fair, originally, it probably was. Then they had that little war about that, didn't they?
Yeah. Under our Constitution, some powers belong to the federal government. What is one power of the federal government? A, to issue driver's licenses. B, to provide protection, police. C, to provide schooling and education. D, to declare war.
B?
No, D, to declare war.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I feel like that makes the most sense.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because you wouldn't want states declaring war on other countries, would you?
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It just seemed like too much of a cliche answer for America.
Oh, okay.
Like, what's the one thing the government can do? Well, it can declare war, obviously. It does it all the time.
Yeah. Who was the first president? A, Thomas Jefferson. B, George Washington. C, Abraham Lincoln. D, John Adams.
John Adams was not, or is it? I forget this. It's not Lincoln. It's not John Adams. What were the other two? George Washington and
Thomas Jefferson.
Was it George Washington? I think
George Washington is correct. Yeah. Yes, good job. Yeah, I was just as uncertain as you were, actually. It feels like something that we should like 100% know straight away, but like I still had to think about it. Like, not 100% sure. Why does the flag have 13 stripes? A, because it was considered lucky to have 13 stripes on the flag. B, because the stripes represent the original colonies. C, because the stripes represent the number of signatures on the U.S. Constitution. D, because the stripes represent the member of the Second Continental Congress. I think that was meant to be members. Members of the.
Yeah,
Second
for some
Continental
reason I thought it was like branches of government, but what was C?
C was the stripes represent the number of signatures on the U.S. Constitution.
Yeah, go with that one.
That's what I did, but it's actually because the stripes represent the original colonies.
Oh, okay.
I never would have guessed that. Well, I mean, I would have guessed that over. It was considered lucky to have 13 stripes on a flag. Who is in charge of the executive branch? A.
Fuck knows,
the
Nelson.
Speaker of the
Fuck
House.
knows.
B. The President. C. The Chief Justice. D. The Prime Minister. E. Fuck knows.
Well, it's E, but I'll also go Speaker of the House.
I think that's what I did, but it's the President.
Oh, what?
What the fuck
What
is
are
the
they in control of? I
executive
forgot the
branch?
question.
What is the executive branch? I don't know what that is.
I
Is
don't
that
know,
the
Nelson.
country? Is that what Americans call America? We're the
We
executive
have
branch.
we just have an old cancer-ridden man that tells us what to do in England, and that's how we run things. All right.
Why do some states have more representatives than other states?
I don't know.
A, because the state's representatives have seniority in the House of Representatives. B, because of the state's population. C, because of the state's location. D, because of the geographical size of the state.
Look, population makes the most sense, but does America run that way? I'm not sure.
Does
But,
America always do this thing that makes the most sense?
Yeah, geography shouldn't factor into it necessarily, but I'll go population. I'll try.
It is population, yes. Good job.
Okay.
Name one war fought by the United States in the 1800s. A. World War One. B.
No.
Mexican-American War. C.
Maybe.
Korean War. D. World War Two.
Okay, it's the one
It's
didn't
the
say no
one
to.
that you don't know yet. Mexican-American War, correct.
Imagine if you like World War One. No, that's too late. World War Two. Oh, maybe.
Could be.
Did World War Two come first?
Because they knew they would have one eventually.
Yeah,
the counting
one
down.
is
the counting down.
Oh, wait till you get to World War Zero. Oh boy.
Oh, that's the one that ends it all. Okay, you've done well, Gambo. I was tallying at the same time, and you got.
Have I done well?
You got also 11. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't remember how many you got. Good job. Yeah, that's it. I don't know. I felt like I had something else to go on to, but nope, that's it. I want to know actually how the Americans did with that, because the Australian one, right? We were like, most of them were pretty easy. I think there was like one or two that we were like not sure about. But in here, I was like, no fucking idea, like how many people, state senators there are or whatever. So
It's
I
to
want
be
to
clear,
know.
you've got too much government.
Get rid of some of your government. Go to war about it.
What we do, and this is a lot of fun, is they all sit in a big square room and they just kind of shout at each other.
Yeah, I think
That's how.
I think there's some of that in America, but I think there's just more square rooms with more shouting.
Yeah. Just get the one. Everyone goes to the one room and they all shout at each other. It's quite fun.
Yeah, exactly. But
And like sometimes they roast each other as well, which is quite funny.
yeah, that's fun. That's the fun part of Parliament.
Yeah.
Anywho, I want to know how our American listeners did, or non-Americans. We've got a lot of Brits listening too. Did you do?
Yeah.
How'd you go, Brits? Maybe we should do a British citizenship test too. See if we can.
That's another podnapping all sewn up for old Nels.
That's another one. Gavin, there's so many countries in the world. I've got podnapping set for such a long time.
I happen to know, even though I disagree, that you put the cream on and then the jam on a scone. So if that comes up in the British citizenship test,
Oh boy.
I might. It's like the word GIF.
I
know technically it's right, but I don't want to do it.
I think that's the question on the UK citizenship test.
They put down a scone and some jam and cream and go
Go on.
Go on. Are you putting the tea bag in first or the water?
Ooh. What? Who puts the water in first? That's wild. Okay, anyway.
Oh.
All right, now it's time for the Ask Me Anything. How long were we going for? Oh, a long time. Well, there's not much of a question actually in this one. Maybe we should do the next. We'll do this AMA, right? Is there a question
from
in here?
Hazza?
Yeah, from Hazza.
No. I don't think so. All right.
Okay. This is the
Hazza.
Tell Us Something, where Hazza has written in and told us something.
And what they've told us is, gentlemen cunts, I knew I had to write in when both Survivor and Pasta Makers were mentioned. Now, that's a very specific demographic we've hit there, and I'm glad.
Yeah, were you waiting for this? Like, man, as soon as they mentioned Survivor and Pasta Makers.
They mentioned Survivor last week, but no mention of Pasta Makers yet. I'll wait.
It'll come up eventually.
I have to start by saying that prior to 2020, I had never seen a single minute of Survivor. Somehow, I didn't quite know the premise of the show either. I think I always mixed up Survivor and Lost. When Chris and I met, we started watching the show from the start. I am now an avid fan and is pleading for Jeff Probst's life. Please tell your friend to spare him.
I think we did say Jeff Probst in the last time we were joking about this, but it's actually JLP.
Yes, it's Jonathan LaPaglia.
In Australia.
And I know Jeff Probst is a very impressive man, but Jonathan LaPaglia's arms are something to
He could beat the shit out of Jeff Probst, let me tell you.
Jeff ain't nothing to mess with. He's looking pretty good too.
I'm sorry,
but
are you saying that Jeff could beat up Jonathan? I don't think so.
No. Jonathan has that thing that all Australians have, which is drunk Australian rage. So I'm not saying that,
true.
but I'm saying it's not as easy as you think. Jeff is a very fit man.
Also,
anyway.
You know what I hate? Is Probst as a last name. That's annoying. Probst.
Yeah, it sounds like you've misspoken.
Yeah, exactly. I feel dirty.
Anyway, we haven't even got to Pasta Makers.
Oh god.
Hazza continues, but on to Pasta Makers. I love mine. I specifically waited to email because I knew I would be making more pasta this weekend. Attached are pictures of me dropping pasta on the ground, courtesy of Chris, and a final total after 1 hour. Keep the pasta maker. The taste is stunningly better and takes so little time considering. I made some extra and then store it in the freezer for upcoming meals. Love you guys, Hazza.
So you've made some extra, but you've neglected to send that to us. Well,
what I'm saying is if you want us to believe, we're going to need a bag of pasta on our doorstep.
AI is getting scary these days, where if you said, hey, have a picture of me making pasta, it can just pop it out like that. But if we've got the pasta in our mouths to prove it, then I think we'll be convinced.
Oh, and then, by the way, Hazza did upload two images
Oh, yes.
of some pasta making.
Can I just say, it looks like a goddamn nightmare. I think this is
first
a
of all, there's
deceptive...
pasta.
Yeah.
There's pasta all over the floor. It's an absolute mess.
And look, the thing is, I reckon they've strategically taken a photo where there's not much mess around, or there's been a bit of cleanup that's happened before it's done. Also,
can I say...
I do love the spice rack. It's very
I was about to say the same thing.
It's so good.
Fantastic spice rack you've got going on here, Hazza.
So good.
Don't think my eye wasn't drawn to it right away. Absolutely glorious.
Yeah, pretty good.
If I were you, I would crop this image to just the spice rack and post it on our subreddit.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
If you want the most upvotes you'd ever have in your life, but it's up to you.
If you want the most upvotes our subreddit has ever seen, post a picture of your spice rack.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, thank you for writing in, Hazza. If you would like to write into us, you can do so. Reddit podcast, READIT podcast at gmail.com. You can also reach us at Facebook. No, I just went back into that old habit. I've done so many episodes where that's how I end it. It's going to be so tricky. Okay. Reddit podcast gmail.com. Also our Discord and our subreddit.
Correct.
That's it.
If you'd like to rate the show, you can do so.
If you'd like to rate the show, even if you would not like to rate the show, you can still do it.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
We say if you'd like to rate the show, you can do it. But if you wouldn't like to rate it, you can still do it.
And when we say you can do it, you can rate it positively.
Yeah. Hey.
If you don't like the show, you actually can't rate it negatively. So much so that I wouldn't even try.
It's not worth it because what happens is Google and or Apple and or whatever just deletes all of your stuff.
Yeah, and your money.
If you try, and your money. They contact your bank and they they say, hey, you know how we've got that international agreement where if somebody writes the Reddit podcast poorly, we delete their money. Yeah, it's one of your clients has done it, and you will need to remove. And they're like, we're all over it. We already did it. We saw the rating,
and then just know that all the banks have rated as 5 stars.
Yeah.
So if you want a better credit rating, you want to be in the good books with them.
Oh yeah. They actually troll through our list of ratings. And there you go. Oh, 5 stars. That person. Here's an extra $1,000. So that's what they do. We're not in control of that though. So don't contact us, and you don't get your $1,000.
Anyway, we gotta go. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening. We will read you later.